The golden sun rose over the kingdom, casting soft light across the palace towers. Birds chirped cheerfully. The fountains sparkled, and the scent of freshly baked bread filled the air. Everything seemed peaceful and bright, just as it always was. Yet, on this particular morning, Cinderella felt something strange in the air, as if time itself were holding its breath. She stood on her balcony, looking out across the town. The baker's cart rolled down the cobblestone street. Children laughed on their way to lessons, and the castle clock struck 9 times. But after that last chime, silence. The air seemed to pause. A bird froze mid-flight. The fountain's water hung in midair like a ribbon of glass. Cinderella blinked, confused. What's happening? She whispered. She stepped back into her room. The clock on her wall had stopped. The pendulum hung motionless. Even the tiny spark in the fireplace seemed frozen. "This isn't right," she said softly. "Time has stopped." The door opened behind her, and the prince stepped in, but his movements were slow, like someone walking through a dream. "Cinderella," he said faintly, his voice echoing strangely. "Something's wrong with the kingdom." Cinderella nodded. "Yes, I can feel it." She looked out toward the town square, where the great clock tower stood tall above the rooftops. Its hands had stopped at exactly 9 o'clock. "It must be the clock tower," she said quietly. "If it's enchanted, perhaps its magic has broken." Without wasting another moment, she wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and took her lantern, the same one that once guided her through the secret library and the Valley of Shadows. "Stay here," she told the prince gently. "If I can fix it, time will flow again." He reached for her hand. "Be careful," he said softly. "I will," she promised, giving him a reassuring smile. "I'll bring time back to us." The streets were eerily still as she walked. People stood frozen in place, a merchant holding a loaf of bread, a little boy reaching to catch a butterfly, a mother smiling down at her baby. The silence was heavy, almost lonely. "Don't worry," Cinderella whispered as she passed them. "I'll fix this." When she reached the clock tower, the great doors at its base stood open, swaying slightly as though they were waiting for her. She stepped inside. The air was cool and filled with the scent of old metal and dust. Above her, she could hear the faint echo of ticking, but it sounded broken, uneven, like a heartbeat that had forgotten its rhythm. She climbed the spiral staircase, her footsteps echoing softly. Halfway up, she found a set of small gears lying scattered on the steps. They glowed faintly with magic. "This isn't just a clock," she murmured. "It's alive." At the top of the tower, she reached the great mechanism that powered the clock. Massive gears stood still, frozen mid-turn. In the center of the room was a glowing hourglass, its sands suspended in midair, but half of the hourglass was cracked. A small, shimmering figure floated beside it, a tiny spirit dressed in silver robes, her wings like glass. "Oh," Cinderella gasped softly. "Hello there. Are you the keeper of time?" The little spirit nodded weakly. "Yes, I am Tima," she said in a voice as soft as wind. "The clock's magic has broken. The hourglass of moments is cracked. Without it, time cannot move." Cinderella knelt beside her. "Can it be mended?" Tima looked sorrowful. "Perhaps, but I am too weak. Every moment that passes, or rather, should pass, drains what little power remains. I try to hold it together, but I can't alone." Cinderella placed her hand over the hourglass. "Then you won't have to. I'll help." The spirit looked up in surprise. "You would give your own time?" Cinderella hesitated. "What do you mean?" Tima fluttered closer. "To repair the hourglass, it needs pieces of living time, memories of love, laughter, and kindness. Once given, they are lost forever." Cinderella thought for a moment. Then she smiled gently. If it means restoring time for everyone, then yes, I'll give it. She closed her eyes. The lantern at her side began to glow softly, and the air shimmered with warmth. Images appeared, her dancing at the royal ball, her first day in the palace garden, her laughter as the birds sang around her. Slowly, one by one, the memories flowed into the hourglass like golden sand. Tima gasped as the cracks began to mend. The suspended sand started to move again, falling slowly from the top to the bottom. It's working, the spirit cried. Time is breathing again. Cinderella smiled, but her eyes were damp. I'm glad, she said softly, though I feel lighter somehow, as if I've forgotten something beautiful. The spirit hovered before her, her glow bright now. You gave your memories of joy, but your heart is still full of kindness. That is something no magic can take. As the last crack sealed, the great gears around them began to turn once more. The ticking grew steady, strong, and alive. Outside, the clock hands began to move, and the bells chimed across the kingdom, a clear, beautiful sound that rolled through the valleys like a song. Down below, time resumed. The fountains flowed, the birds sang again, and people blinked as if waking from a dream. Children laughed, merchants shouted, and life returned to motion. Cinderella looked out from the tower window, smiling through tears. It's beautiful, she whispered. Tima hovered beside her, holding a small silver charm shaped like a clock's hand. Take this, she said softly. It will remind you that time is not only counted in hours and minutes, but in moments of love. Cinderella accepted it gratefully. Thank you, Tima. Thank you, kind heart, the spirit said with a bow. The world will always move because of souls like yours. When Cinderella returned to the palace, the prince ran to her, relief and joy shining in his eyes. You did it, he said, taking her hands. Time is moving again. Cinderella smiled gently. Yes, but some moments are gone. I gave them to the clock. The prince touched her cheek tenderly. Then you gave the world a gift beyond measure, and I'll make new memories with you every single day. They stood together by the window as the sun set, the clock tower glowing golden in the distance. Cinderella whispered, I think I understand now. Time isn't something we can keep. It's something we fill with kindness, love, and meaning. That evening, she placed the silver charm on her bedside table, where it ticked softly, not like a clock, but like a heartbeat. Every time she looked at it, she smiled, remembering that no matter how fast or slow time moved, every moment spent with love would last forever. And so, dear dreamers, whenever you feel like time is slipping away, just remember every smile, every kind act, and every bit of laughter is a moment that makes the world turn. You are the magic that keeps time alive. If you enjoyed this magical bedtime story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Little Dreamland Tales, and ring the bell for more adventures with Cinderella. Sweet dreams, little hearts, and may your moments always be filled with love.